The first prison where I was had this guy who had been locked up for 30 some years. He was the picture guy. Many got to spend all weekend in the visitation room taking pictures of people and their families, and they got to go wander around the compound taking pictures within the pods. Because we could go to commissary, we could order a picture ticket for a couple dollars, and then when he came into the pod or when you went into visitation, you could hand it to him and he would take a picture for you. He lived down in the honor pod. He had it to the point where he could literally tell the officer to open the door and he could go pretty much anywhere in that compound because he'd been there for so long, he'd earned that level of trust or that level of privilege, however you wanted to look at it. Anyways, we got rid of parole in Virginia in 1995, but because he'd been locked up prior to that, he was eligible for parole. Now, when it came time to make parole, the rumor is that he turned it down, that he said he didn't want to go home because he knew he would have it better in prison than he would out on the street. Because imagine being in prison for more than 30 years. You're in your 60s, you don't know anything out in the world, you've never succeeded out in the world, but you found something good in prison. So he didn't want to go home because what was he going to do? Go home and collect Social Security? He wasn't even eligible. He hadn't worked enough years out on the street, and the prison job didn't pay into Social Security. And it's one of those things we heard about a lot. I don't know whether it was actually true or not because I knew he did eventually get released. Now, the rumor is that one of the staff said, hey, I can't stand for you to not go out. I can't stand for you to stay in here when you have the opportunity to go home. I want to sponsor you. But supposedly he went home and he did not do very well. And I had a call with one of the DOC reentry people back in 2023, and they were telling me there were not nearly enough reentry beds. They were sending between 100 and 200 people a month home to be homeless. They'd get a voucher for a hotel for a week or for 2 weeks. Then it was, hey, good luck.